got this one from Timmy.
Are you going down?
We're going upwards. This is the start of...
We're starting at the top and working down?
No, we're starting at the bottom and working up. This is the oldest stuff he posted.
Oh, this is that teacher.
Some teacher had inappropriate relations with a 17... Both were... more than one. Two male students, 17, and she's not going to be...
What's the age of consent in Texas?
It's probably 17, 18.
One of the two.
Oh, probably lower than that.
16, 15?
No, 16 I think was the lowest in the U.S.
17. So that's why. Done.
Done. Yeah. Okay.
And I know it's a double standard.
Huh?
It's a double standard in our society, but...
A guy...
But aside from that, I mean, a 17-year-old, and she was kind of a good-looking teacher. Good for him.
Yeah,
that's
all
South Park
these hot
episode.
teachers that had
Nice.
rights with students when I was in
Yeah,
school.
no kidding.
All right. Mississippi considers firing squad as a method of execution.
Well,
I like Timmy's.
it used to be.
I like Timmy's point on this. You don't need a squad. You need one person with the 22 behind the ear.
Well, her person of the squad was the guilt.
So you don't have the
it's the
guilt of
guilt,
one
right.
person.
Right.
Yeah.
Same reason there's 3 switches when you elect to chair somebody.
Right.
And, yes.
Yep.
So it didn't even.
Hey, whoa. Before we even do this, look at the URL. That's not ABC News.
No.
ABC News Go, which is. Oh.
It's abcnews.go.com.
No, you're right.
That's not a real news story.
You're right. Okay. Well, even if they were considering it, I mean, I'm fucking fine with it.
What was it? I didn't even see. It doesn't matter. Ben skipped it. Next.
Well, no. It's not a real news site.
It's not ABC's news site.
It's a site that's intentionally made
Tried to look like ABC
News,
but it's not
really ABC News.
Oh. Okay.
Mother expected to make plea in birthday cake beating death. What?
Oh, that looks like
She
a
beat
real
her with
news
the
story.
birthday cake?
Is the URL good
Yep.
on that one?
This one's foxnews.com.
Okay.
Plea deal with Marilyn
old
Williams. I need to
people.
make it bigger. Jesus,
Fuck.
that's pretty fucking big.
Well, you can read it to us otherwise.
Yeah. Well, no,
Here we
can't.
go.
We've tried this already.
Here we go.
There's big words.
Oh.
Over a missing piece of birthday
Beat a
cake?
9-year-old to death over a missing piece of cake.
They arrested her, right?
I would assume so.
All right.
Will plead guilty to first-degree murders, or first-degree child abuse resulting in death. Charged with second-degree murder. Wait.
And she sent away an ambulance. So the guys beat the kid, and she sent the ambulance away as the kid was...
Wow.
Yeah. Put them all in jail.
Yeah, put them all in jail.
Next.
Yep. Put them all in jail.
Over a piece of fucking birthday cake.
Yeah.
You
Laugh
must have
at
a really
something
good
like that.
piece of birthday cake, I guess.
Oh, little Timmy stole the fucking birthday cake.
Whip his ass till he dies.
Now we're gonna tease him, say he's not getting a present for a little bit.
Child forced out of Boy Scouts rejoins his first openly transgender boy after policy change.
Okay.
So, kid comes back because they stopped banning anything.
Transgender boys are now allowed in Boy Scouts. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Whatever. More than half of Trump voters say the non-existent Bowling Green massacre is proof Trump's immigration ban is necessary. That's probably a poll based on like 100 people, so that's bullshit. Man who said he'd rather... I drew this one. Said he'd rather be in jail than be with his wife admits to a bank robbery.
Worth reading.
It was interesting. It was Kansas, I think is where this happened. Don't give me this. I don't need this shit. Stop your fucking autoplay bullshit. Kansas man who told authorities preferred to be in prison over his wife's company has admitted to a bank robbery. So yeah. Congressman is righteously booed after dodging a young girl's simple question about science.
So what'd she ask?
Let us see
That's
what
what
her
I wanted
simple
to know.
question was.
Actually, I saw this one, and I was... But, of course, it was too much effort to find out.
To click? Alright.
Long degree.
Yeah, TLDR. 1 hour into loud.
Make it a little bigger.
Yeah. I think it's right there.
Oh, that's like California. Jason Shotted.
What are you doing to help protect our water and air for our generations and my kids' generations.
We're not giving it to California. Next.
Click on
the second was just a bit more broad. Do you believe in science?
Let's ask.
Yeah, because she came up with those on her own.
The first ask the two simple questions. I want to see if they have the sound.
A soundbite or a clip or something.
Hear it.
What are you doing to help protect our water and air from
Jesus!
Completely not cultured.
It doesn't matter.
You believe in science?
All right.
It doesn't matter if that.
This
if the questions were
buffering
given to her by someone else. I want to hear his response.
Yeah, so do I. Let's see if it stops.
Keep going.
Do you believe in science? Because I do.
Stop sharing. I'm answering.
Congressman on television, all these people do that, so more power to you. Stay being involved. Keep being involved. We need good people on both sides of the aisle. I don't pretend to have all the answers to all the questions, okay? We need good people on both sides of the aisle. I got relatives in here, good members of the Democratic Party, and so I can thank her for her doing this. We're not okay?
California.
What is thrown into our air, what is thrown into our water, obviously has an effect on our environment. We have a major problem here, particularly Salt Lake Valley, with the emergent. Okay, we have to make sure that we're being responsible for it. You have a different approach to how I do that than I do. Okay, I do support an all of the above energy strategy, and I do think coal is an important part of that future.
What does that fucking have to do with their water problem in California?
It's Utah.
It's Utah.
Or Utah.
But
I don't know, but
nothing.
Because the big thing that I see that's going around is they approve dumping coal ash in water, and I'm assuming that's probably what
That might have been what it was about.
what this was going off of. Maybe.
Well, at least that means the Badger gets to run.
Utah Chad.
But the thing is, he didn't.
It's a simple.
Well, her second question wasn't a question. It was her being a little shit.
Right.
And getting some attention. Let's face it. Her first question was a real question.
Yes, this is a real question.
But the second question was not. Do you believe in science? Because I do. I mean, if I was asked two questions and you came up to me and that was your second question, fuck you. Next. Because...
Depending on your answer to the first question, I may ask, do you believe in science?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Wait to ask that second question.
Right, because depending on what he answered, but what he said, how does that have to do with anything?
No, it doesn't.
No, because it's just an attention-grabbing thing where we had to fucking watch it.
Exclusive Diane Blood on Family Life 20 years after she won the right to use her dead husband's sperm.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck. Sears, Kmart join other realtors in dropping Trump-branded merchandise.
they have every right to do that, so I don't.
They can do it if they want to.
She can
Free
sell that
speech
shit on
works both
Amazon.
ways. What?
She can sell that shit on Amazon.
Exactly.
Or her own website.
There you go.
It's not like she couldn't afford it. Workers fired after not showing up on a day without immigrants.
I got questions about this one.
Okay.
Did they have sick time?
No, it actually says they did not show up for shifts and did not call in saying they weren't going to show up.
That ain't too bad.
Exactly. That was Timmy.
If you don't have time off, then too bad.
Honestly, that's what I would expect to do if I didn't show up for work. I agree with him. After Donald Trump claims there was a tragedy in Sweden, people have hilarious suggestions of what it might have been. Oh, okay.
Because he talked about Friday, there was a Sweden of all places yesterday. But nothing had happened that day in Sweden.
Yep, I heard about that.
And then there was a Nazi attack, the neo-Nazi attack after that. Wasn't there?
Really?
Like on a refugee camp.
After that, like a day or two after, neo-Nazis who are not the terrorists Trump is trying to stop.
Yes.
Attacked refugees who are the terrorists Trump is trying to stop. Anyway,
For decades, they hid Jefferson's relationship with her.
Oh, for God's
Now
sake.
Monticello's making room for Sally Hennings.
Fine.
Hemmings.
Good.
Do you
Whatever.
fucking know how long was Jefferson president? Really?
Well, I don't care if they make room for
cares?
it. Good. Fine. If that's what happened, good. That's what you should do.
I don't fucking care.
Milo.
Here's the Milo thing, which I found interesting.
What?
He was on a podcast like a year ago where he came out and said that he was touched inappropriately when he was a kid. He was like 13 or something like that, and one of them happened to be with a priest. And then he proceeded to say that in the gay community, they were talking about age of consent, and he's like, age of consent is a bullshit thing because people come into their sexual realization at different times, yada yada.
People are complicated and messy.
It shouldn't be it's an outdated concept. And then he basically said, I think that in the gay community, that a lot of times what brings young boys around is relationships with older men. And I don't necessarily think he was promoting pedophilia.
No.
But slightly defending it, I agree with that statement. And then because of that, there was a huge fucking uproar about he condones pedophilia, and then he had to step down because of all the uproar.
Well, then
he didn't have to step down.
Carefully orchestrated.
He made a very
which Richard posted. He claimed it's because of his British sarcasm and gallows humor that we misunderstood him. Unfortunately, I enjoy British sarcasm and gallows humor. No.
So no.
I heard you speaking, so I call bullshit.
I wonder if they actually have the clip in here.
I think they do.
Of what?
Of
either that or
the
I searched
podcast.
Who cares?
I saw it on I don't care about what he says. Shut up. Where's the actual violent protest? Milo Yiannopoulos. Drunken Peasants podcast. Stop.
We get hung up on the child abuse stuff.
And that was actually the incorrect thing I heard you guys all say, or him say, was that age of consent is an antiquated term. That is not true. Age of consent is within the last 2 generations. It never existed before in the history of man.
Well, exactly. It's
Women
not
were
antiquated
married
by
at
definition.
12 and 11, and so were men.
Mm-hmm.
And you were an old maid if you didn't have kids by 16 or 17.
Yes, and right, and
So you
considered
can't say
unmarriable by the time you were in your mid-20s.
Because you can't say that's antiquated, because fucking people didn't live to be
right.
old.
So it was our.
He might not have said antiquated.
It was our.
I think he said outdated.
Oh, I thought he said antiquated.
I think he said outdated.
I could have misheard him.
But
Ben gave me some homework on you, Milo. He gave me a few videos to watch to brush up on my Miloisms. And one of the things that you said in one of these clips was that transgenderism is the new, frontier of rights. My wording is bad here, but it's the new frontier of social progress. And the next thing in line is going to be pedophilia. And yet here you are talking about how, look, some of these kids that get diddled by these priests, I mean, it's a good thing for them. They're getting this love. Now they are also getting
You're misunderstanding what pedophilia means. Pedophilia is not a sexual attraction to somebody 13 years old who is sexually mature. Pedophilia is attraction to children. To children who have not reached puberty. Pedophilia is attraction to people who don't have functioning sex organs yet, who have not gone through puberty, who are too young to be able to understand the way their body. That is not what we're talking about.
And culture.
You don't understand what pedophilia is if you think that I'm defending it, because I'm certainly
No. I'm not saying you're defending it. I'm saying you're walking the borderline.
No, that's not what you said. You said I'm defending it, and you were wrong.
Fine. I retract my statement, Milo. I retract my statement. I shan't slander you further, but you are advocating for cross-generational relationships here. Can we be honest about that?
Yeah, I don't mind admitting that, and I think particularly in the gay world and outside the Catholic Church, if that's where some of you want to go with this, I think in the gay world, some of the most important, enriching, and incredibly, life-affirming, important shaping relationships very often between younger boys and older men. They can be hugely positive experiences for those young boys. They can even save those young boys. Desolation from
they're consensual. Hold on. I've
all sorts of things. Provided they're consensual. I'm
gonna jump to Milo's defense a little bit here because I've read stories of like people losing their virginity, like gay men losing their virginity, and most of the stories do seem to involve, I was 14, I was 15, sure, there's 20 something, and all this stuff, and it does seem more common in that community. So whatever.
I just because I was sexual
group begging for more acceptance and equality, they are some of the least accepting people that believe anything outside of their norm.
Well, that's his stance that he's taken on. They're
I'm not
attacking him because he is right wing.
Yeah,
that's the whole reason he is being attacked.
But that's not why he's being attacked. For this, he's being attacked
for this issue.
No,
idiot. Right. Yes.
and the other issues that I've personally called him, or not him, but I've mentioned that he did something fucking retarded. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's right wing. It has to do with the fact that he's fucking
before this, when the riots were happening and they're burning shit outside the college, before anyone knew about this, why were they attacking him?
At the college, it's because he's the guy who called out the transgender person.
That was happening before that
is he the guy that they wouldn't let talk at Berkeley? That they had all of those violent burning protests?
Right, but they did that because that had to do with him speaking at UW Milwaukee. Where he put up a picture of a transgendered person who happened to be in the audience because they were currently a student.
We talked about.
We talked about that here.
I remember that one.
Insulted the.
So this is the same guy.
Same guy.
This is also the same guy. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before. We brought up the story about how he believes that less women should be given scholarships to go into STEM areas, and they should be given to men because women usually tend to fall out of those areas and whatnot. And
he's also that guy who says women shouldn't be encouraged to go into STEM fields because they take money away from men.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was his point.
That there should be a cap on women entering STEM fields.
This is where my far right wing and my libertarianism comes. I hate this collectivist fucking thoughts process.
He's just a fucking douche.
Yeah,
is what it is. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's a right wing. It has to do with the fact that he's a douchebag.
Right.
It doesn't surprise me that he's far right.
I wonder how much money he's made by being
probably
such
an
an ass.
ton.
Well, he worked for Breitbart, so
again,
a lot.
Well, his book that was coming out. Once this surfaced, they canceled his book, but someone.
What's that one? Ben put that one
up in a heartbeat.
Oh, this is hilarious. And search for the product too. Don't just trust
I
his
enjoy
page,
this.
It works.
I enjoy this
because it's real.
Why? I can't read.
This is a guy who has invented. It's called Menzies. It's lipstick that you put on your outer labia that glues your vagina shut, so that when you have your period, blood doesn't leak out. And then when you sit on the toilet and pee, the urine dissolves the glue, so the urine and blood all go into the toilet, and then you dry it off and glue it back shut until next time.
Sounds smart.
No, it's fucking ridiculous.
No?
You get toxic shock with that, can't you?
No. Toxic shock is...
That would be if you'd have to do it for a long time. You get toxic shock from leaving a fucking... get it from leaving a tampon in for like 3 days.
Well, actually, it comes from inserting the tampon too far. Toxic shock syndrome has nothing to do with what you think it does.
Oh.
Anyway, the part... And look, you should look at the product. MENSEZ is how he spells it. There's a webpage for it.
Why are we talking about this, though?
Just because it's hilarious.
MEN
So is somebody complaining about this now?
SEZ.
Oh, I guarantee a feminist is complaining about it.
No, he's created this thing, and he's
MEN.
He's a chiropractor.
Oh, so he's a doctor, actually. So it probably works.
Here's the website.
Terrifying new. Why is it terrifying? Did it go through FDA trials?
So what do you want?
No. It looks just like a lipstick. Click on products so you can see what it looks like. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's lipstick. It looks like lipstick.
I mean, like to me, like the idea of gluing it shut your snatch and letting piss dissolve it is kind of gross.
Well, first off, urine and period blood do not come out the same place.
Right. Well, like if you got some big old beef curtains and you just like pull it out over.
But the thing that's on that picture is a direct quote from the web page where he's like, "Yes, I'm a man, but you're a woman, and you should have thought."
No, I love this. Yes, I'm a man, and you as a woman should have come up with a better solution than diapers and plugs, but you didn't. I laughed when I read that.
Just such a condescending prick.
I laughed when I read that. It was funny.
I bet you people buy that though.
Menzies feminine lipstick is a natural, colorless combination of amino acids and oils in the lipstick applicator. For most women, use begins 1 day prior to the normal period and continues as long as they discharge. Menzies is a personal hygiene product and should not be used or shared with others. Read product label for additional information.
So what's the big uproar about it?
I don't know if there's uproar. I just think it's hilarious.
Oh. I thought there was uproar too.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That would have been funnier. What?
Timmy. Jesus fucking yellow penguins. Mm-hmm. You gotta be kidding me.
Glue your snatch shut.
Is there something about yellow penguins that I don't know?
What's the big...
What?
I glue up my hands if I get cuts on them at times, if they're bad.
Oh, fucking super glue? Yeah.
That's what super glue's for.
That's what super glue's for.
New skin is the same thing.
Nah.
Right.
Well, yeah, but...
Just marketed different because people don't want to put super glue on their hands.
Right. Exactly. Seriously, it's pretty much...
It is.
Well, that's actually why super glue was invented, was to fix battlefield wounds.
Go into any kitchen, you'll find fucking super glue in there.
But the idea, though, is that because you're making this product, what the fuck is wrong with a tampon or a pad? I mean, if somebody wants to use this, fine. I have no problem with that.
You got a bloody plug sitting in your garbage next to your toilet.
So
wrap
what?
It up. I don't know. Provide alternatives. Fuck.
He did.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't have a problem.
It's just alternatives.
The way the guy talks about it on the webpage and discusses it, I'm just like, could you be less condescending, you jackass?
Well, right. I mean, because he's probably being condescending to women, and that's potential clients. You would assume he'd put a happy face on.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious because he's talking about the problem of a period and how it's unhygienic, which is actually funny because the purpose of the period is hygiene. It's cleansing the uterine lining to make it prepared to have a child. It is a hygienic process. You may find it disgusting. You may personally not like it.
All of the above.
But it's not unhygienic.
The process itself, no.
I just mean...
We went through all of the GAFCON articles. There's no possible way.
That is...
No way.
That's
He's been posting... We skipped last week. There's 3 weeks of freaking articles.
That was 3 weeks. I started at February 5th, which
Tim
was the first.
Just not put anything on there.
Yeah, he was taking it slow this week, a couple weeks. Yeah, because this one right here is Here's why we ought to put a cap on women studying science and math. This is the fucking Milo thing, which we talked about. And there's the teacher right there. That's where we started.
Yeah, we went through them.
If you like what you just saw, why not check out our last episode? Or subscribe, or like, or comment. Do something.